the department is mechanical engineering. And to be precise, I did my MTech from Birla Institute of Technology, Mesra, Ranchi, India itself. Design of mechanical equipments. And my previous BTech degree was also from mechanical. So my throughout degrees are from mechanical itself. And right now I'm I joined PhD on in the year 2016 July. And right now I'm on the verge. I'm like writing my thesis, and I'm on the verge of submitting it. So I have been continuing my studies. There is no gap, and since I'm still I still want to pursue further, sir, my research. I've always wanted to do it, and hence I also want to pursue it further, and hence I want to opt for postdoc after I finish this. So I have my seniors from a same college, NIT Routera itself, and from them I have learned that I should start looking for postdoc positions right from now. But I don't know like how to go for it, or how to approach, or what steps should I start from now itself, because I'm still on the verge of I'm still writing my thesis, and it will like take 3-4 more months for me to submit it. And then it will take 6 months or 5 or 6 months more to like defend it. So I have a year of gap, a year gap from now, by the time when I'll get my degree. So all I know is like even to opt for postdoc or to get into postdoc, I need the degree in my hand at least. So how should I approach from now to get into a postdoc position? Because I have gone through a few videos of yours, sir, where I have got to know that there is no specific positions like PhD or MTech or BTech. They don't come out with positions from institutes or organizations. So we need to approach it. But how am I supposed to do it? And if I'm doing it from right now, what should be my approach? And secondly, my first priority is India itself. It has always been India only. Nevertheless, it has to be IIT, of course, sir, from what position right now I am in. And but I am also not denying that if I get a position outside in a foreign country, irrespective of any country, because the exposure I would get would be the same. So that's what. And looking into the current situation, the COVID-19 situation, I'm opting India as my first preference. So these are my current doubts, or like if I'm supposed to start from now, what I'm supposed to do. And to be precise about my work from PhD background, I am into vibration analysis of beam-based structures, and I'm also working on modeling of composite materials and application of those composite materials into specific structures like rotor dynamics, doing operating the composite or advanced materials over the conventional materials like metals, aluminum, steel. Or so basically, modeling and application-based work research field is what I'm working right now.
Okay. A couple of questions for you, Krishnan. One is,
Yes.
what do you want to do after postdoc or something? What do you want to do?
So I guess I am really into academics.
Okay.
Like I want to teach as well as I want to carry out my research work parallelly.
Okay.
So I really want to be in this field itself.
Right. So I think, I understand your questions now. So a couple of things. I think some of the things probably I may be repeating or you probably heard of already. So
Yeah.
let
Yes,
me
sir.
ask you, you said you have 1 year till you get your degree, but do you know
Yeah.
if you can get your provisional degree or something, or that is about a year?
So if I am submitting it by March or April, I guess I get a provisional degree then. So I
Yeah.
have 4 or 5 months in my hand.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, if you have a provisional degree, you can be a candidate for a postdoc. You don't have to worry about the degree.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay. So don't worry about having a 1 year. That means as soon as you have a provisional degree in your hand, you are qualified to apply for a postdoc.
Right,
I don't know about India, but outside that's valid.
right.
Okay.
Okay.
That's number one. And number two is, my next question to you would be, when you said, I am really interested in academics, tell me an institution where you would like to teach or do research. Name an institution that you say you think
So,
that this is the place where I can go and teach and whatever. Go ahead.
so my first preference would be IIT Kharagpur.
Mhm.
But again, there is a like constraint, sir. I need to have to get into IITs in India, of course. To get into IITs, I need to have a degree from IIT, at least one degree
Yeah,
throughout my
yeah,
educational career.
right, right. So here's the thing. I think you have to be a little bit realistic also,
Right,
right?
right, exactly, sir.
So I will be very frank with you. I don't think you can get a teaching position at IITs. It's not, I think it's very, very difficult. And the reason is very simple. They have students who are graduating from IITs. They have students who are graduating from best institution from the world that applies there. So my answer to you
Right,
would be, your probability of you getting into a faculty position in any IITs is extremely rare. So I don't think you should
right.
even, in my
Uh,
opinion,
um,
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, so yeah, I am a bit aware of that also, because there are, as you said, there are people who are actually graduating from IIT, so there are many more options and many more students right away. So at the same time, sir, the second IIT Kharagpur, I was, because I am from, actually from Jamshedpur, sir. Jamshedpur, Jharkhand. So that's why IIT Kharagpur becomes my first option, because of course the tag. The second option I am thinking is NIT Jamshedpur, sir.
So here is my question. Answer to you would be, is you have to be, again, as I said, you have to be realistic here. You don't get a job in a place because your home is next to it. Doesn't matter.
Right.
Okay? So you need to take out that factor from your mind. Okay.
Okay.
Nobody gives you a job because your home is next to your office. Nobody does that. You get admission because what you know, what degree you have, what research you have done,
Right.
what skill set you have. Okay. So for example,
Right.
if your skill set is highly required in a company in Delhi, you will get job there. Do you understand my point? So you should
Right.
take that
Right.
factor. Here's the thing. If you ask me myself, I came long back, we stay in US and all that. I want to stay next to my home in India, but I cannot because my skill set is different. That doesn't allow me to find a job there. Do you understand my point? So people travel miles
Right.
and they
Right,
stay
sir.
far
Yes.
away. So it doesn't work that way. That's number two. So as I said, take out the factor that you, as I said, your probability of you getting admission, faculty position in IT is almost very, very minimum. So I don't think you should count that as a factor, in my opinion. Number two is thinking about, oh, here's a place next to my home, I should get there. As I said, you should get a job where you think your best professional interest lies. Doesn't matter. Okay. It doesn't, as I said, it doesn't work that way. So yes, you're right. Because you have a degree from NIT, chances that you can get a faculty position in NIT or an institute or a university or an institute below that are much higher. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Yeah. So
Yes, sir.
so
Yeah.
so I think that's where you should apply. And to be honest with you, again, depends on. So for example, let's say even if you're thinking about staying near Jamshedpur or whatever, it may be possible that you can find a good private institutions or a public institutions nearby your home that you can apply right away. But let's say if you want to get into NIT, my I will highly recommend you that you should then carry your postdoc at ISC or IIT.
Yes.
That is the
Yes,
must.
sir.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, let's talk about what, as I told you, I think once you have your provisional degree, you can always apply, right?
Right.
So
Okay, sir.
the best way of
Okay.
getting into a postdoc program is, first of all, you need to do your own research, like who are those people who are working in the area that you have done your PhD. Okay. And second thing,
Hmm.
as I say again and again, for a postdoc is, the way you get a postdoc position these days, or in previous days also probably, is it's basically if your advisor knows someone. So your advisor is the best person that can help you out in getting a postdoc. If there is a
Right.
process in India, I don't know about that, but I can certainly tell you if you're applying outside, your advisor would be the best person.
Right.
But again,
Right.
looking at COVID and everything, I know like my friends who are faculty here, it's difficult for them to hire a postdoc from India or outside right now. So you are right. Your best chance will be to apply a postdoc in India. But
My own
I
country.
would say,
Right.
yeah, but I would say, because you already probably have to gone through conferences, right, in India and all that, people who are working in your area. So I
Right.
think you
Yes, sir.
should start sending them email as of now. Send your CV, make sure you have your backup of your advisor. Ask your advisor if he knows someone in IITs or ISCs that you can go and apply. Because
Okay.
here is the thing. I would be very honest with you. For you, the best chance is to, if you want to go to an academics, the best chance for you to go to NIT is if you have a 2-year postdoc at some IITs or something. That's your best chance. Otherwise, you can still apply even today. I think, let's say if you want to go to apply into let's say institute that is comes below NIT, you can apply right now. You don't have to wait. That the choice you can make.
Okay.
Because you have to understand, is it okay if I go for a 2-year postdoc and I may or may not get a position at an NIT? Because as I said, I don't think IITs there is a chance for you to get into IITs, but NITs you still have to I think work something, unless until if your advisor has a good reputation and if he knows someone, if they have if he, because I know that I spoke to a girl actually. I think she did her PhD from NIT Jamshedpur or somewhere, and she got assistant professor at NIT Surathkal. I spoke to so she got it right away after PhD. And I asked her, I said, how do you get it? Because I think it's a little bit difficult. You must be very lucky. She said her advisor has a very good reputation. So, I would say for you, the best possible thing right now is to speak to your advisor about your career, especially if you're going into academics. Talk to him about, hey, I need some time. I
So,
need to talk to you about, I'm thinking of applying here. But as I said, be realistic. Don't be super ambitious. I mean, what I'm saying is there is a good to be ambitious, but you have to be realistic in your, because, you have certain things that you have done. You can't change them now.
right,
Yeah,
sir.
go ahead.
So I would also like to ask, like just you told, to consult with the supervisor. Of course, that is the first point I'll do. But again, at the same time, what else am I supposed to do from my side? Is it just the mails that I can send from my side for the time being,
So,
or is there anything else also I can do?
see, here's the thing. If you would have spoken with me 3 years back, I would have a different answer. Do you understand my point? Because you are saying I'm falling. How can I save myself? Do you understand my point? There's a difference.
Yes, sir.
There is a difference when if you would have spoken to me 3 years back when you say, hey, I'm thinking of going into PhD in Raukela. Should I go or not? I have a totally different answer. You're talking to me when everything is completed and you are in a verge of submitting, and now you are saying, what can I do? One thing I definitely advise you is don't panic. Okay. Because there is no point in panicking at this
Right.
point. I think what you need to do is, I saw your CV. I think your CV is pretty good. It's not like you have a bad CV, right? I'm not saying that. I say you have done a lot of work. I see you have a very good GP and everything, but you need to also understand the competition, right? If you are applying somewhere, you have to compete with people who are graduating from ISC. You have to compete with people. If you are applying for IIT, right, you have to compete with people who are doing PhDs from Stanford, from Penn State. That's what it is. I mean, I have friends who have done PhDs from really good universities in US. They cannot get into IIT. They say you need to have 3 years postdoc even after PhD from very good institution. I can tell you from this side of the story, people who have finished their PhD from IITs, it's not from very good universities in US. It's not easy for them to get into IITs. I'm serious. When I graduated, I can tell you my story. I got interview at IIC Bangalore and IIT Bombay, and I think I was about to defend my thesis, but both of them said you need postdoc. And my advisor was the very well-known advisor. I had a very good I did from a good institution. Everything was there, and it's just not my story. You understand?
Right.
You have no idea
Yes, sir.
how many. If you go to any university in US, just look at mechanical engineering department and see how many Indians are there and how many of them wants to come back. You understand my point?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you need to understand your competition, and then you have to be realistic, because if you are not, then you will be in trouble. See, you have to understand what is the reality and where should I focus my energy, because you want to. If you are focusing your energy at a right place, you will get it. But if you're focusing your energy at a wrong place, you will be just scratching it, and there is no answer.
Right.
Yeah, go
No,
ahead.
sir, I was actually asking for the postdoc position only, as not
Yeah,
going
yeah,
for the job sector.
yeah. For again, see, here's the thing. If you're looking
I'm
for a if you are going for a postdoc, as I said, at this point of time, the only thing you can do is, first of all, do your homework, look at those professors who have done research in your area, and email them,
okay.
because that's the
Got it.
only thing that you can do.
Got it.
Especially in India or somewhere, if you are doing it in taking account of the knowledge of your advisor, and if he has your backing, that will be much more effective. So for example,
Right.
if you are speaking to us, let's say you talk to your advisor and he says, hey, there is a professor at IIT Roper, for example, and he's really good in this area, I think you should email him or her. Send him an email saying that you have spoken to your advisor, and based on that, you are sending your CV, because that has more backing than you emailing a professor saying that, hey, my name is this, I'm doing PhD. You understand my point? Because
Right. I got it.
postdocs are more personal. They are more the advisor can make a decision. You don't have to refer to department or dean or vice chancellor, whatever. But for a faculty position, you have to talk to everyone. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying. But
Yes.
to be honest with you,
Yes.
in your case, I can tell you two things very straightforward. once you graduate, once you finish your degree, you can do two things. One, you can keep applying for postdoc in India. Let's say you get into ISC or IITs, good. Number two,
Right.
don't stop applying at NITs or institutions below NITs. Don't do that. Don't stop that. You
For
understand?
the job you're saying this, the
Yes,
other part you're saying is for the job, right? Okay, sir.
correct. But
Okay.
just don't apply for postdoc, because here's the thing. To be honest with you, if you get into a regional engineering college in Odisha or Bengal or wherever you are from, or from Bihar or from UP or from Andhra Pradesh, doesn't matter. Trust me,
Yes.
you are in better position. It's not easy. It's
Yes.
not easy. If you get it, go for it.
Got it. Yes.
Because I need to ask this question from you. You probably know how many students that graduated from your college in your department are professor in IITs in last 10 years. Just find the number. You will find zero probably. Check again how many students from your department in your institution has gone to NITs as a faculty member. Probably one or two. So the data is there, right there. You won't be different than them,
Yes.
right?
Right.
So
Right.
as I said, this is again, that's what I'm saying. It's talking about the reality, and then you can say, okay, how many students graduated from my department, from my institution, has gone to RECs? Probably you can find, okay, 20%. So that means chances are better. And how many of them has gone for a postdoc in ICs or IITs? I really want to ask you this question. Let me ask you, where do you see the people who graduate from your department, they do what they do once they do their PhD in last 5-6 years, what they have
So
done?
they are mostly into academics. They are into some
Where?
institution teaching. And to be precise, sir, my own senior,
Mhm.
he once he passed out under my guide supervision. He got into postdoc in IIT Delhi. Then he got into NIT Surathkal.
Right. So that's
So
what I'm
this is one
saying.
reference I have.
No, it's a good reference. It's a very good. So that's, I think I was thinking the same, because to get into an IT, you have to go into IT.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I got
Yeah.
you. I got
Yeah.
your point,
Yeah.
sir.
So I think I was thinking the same. But as I said to you, but as I said, his story will be different than yours. That's also true.
Yes,
You
of
can't,
course,
you will not,
of
everybody
course.
don't follow the same path, right? So that is the reason I said, make sure you have this second option open also. Because what
Right.
I'm saying is that there are a couple of my friends. Actually, I had a friend who graduated from ISC Bangalore, and then he did his postdoc in US, and then he came back. He was a professor in a private institution in India, and then he jumped to an NIT, and then he jumped into an IIT. So you can follow that path
IIT.
also. So
Right.
that's a one way to do it too.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Got it.
So yeah. So as I said, let's say for example, you get into IIT as a postdoc, good enough. But let's say if you're not, or let's say if you find a job in REC, you can go there and then do a jump, and then do another jump. That's one way to do it too. You may not get right away. That's okay, but you because you will see a lot of professors nowadays. US was very common, but nowadays I see in India also a lot of professors, they keep jumping from one IIT to another IITs.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and a lot of
I
actually,
myself has seen this.
yeah, and a lot of I also have seen a lot of students who have gone to an REC and then they have gone to an IIT. That's also I've seen.
Right.
So you can do the same
Right.
path. So as I said, don't be too, don't have anxiety. Have a plan, because as I said, you are talking to me at the very end, not at the start. But
Mm.
that's all I can tell you is, I think you have two paths, in my opinion, to follow. One is, as I said, try to find a postdoc, and your advisor will be the best person to help you
Right.
out.
Okay.
And the
Right.
second is, but definitely don't do a postdoc or something at NIT. Don't do that. That will be a suicidal. And the second thing, as I said, with your CV, I think you have a good CV, and I think you have a good chance to get into an REC. If you get into that, take the job, work hard, and then jump.
Right. Okay.
So that I think that
So
should be
will that be will that be possible from of course for this time, that jump, will that be possible if I don't continue with postdoc right now, and if I get a job in REC and later on
yeah,
jump with my
yeah.
experience?
Why not? It's all depends on where you are there, right? So in a postdoc, it's just a training. But if you have a actual faculty position, then you have a teaching experience, then you have research. You will have masters or PhD students and so forth, right? So yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
As I said, everybody does that. So, but as I said,
Okay.
be realistic. You need to plan out more right now, and I think these two paths I see are much better. But